Right. Third life, starting lives 3. Boogeyman enabled. Enable lifesteal. No. Right. Genuinely, don't even know how this is going to work. Let's see if it actually works, the players thing. Start game. Oh. Okay. This looks good. This looks promising. We've all got 3 lives. We're all on green life. Okay. Begin. Session 1 events. Smallish Beans is chosen as the boogeyman. A fight breaks out between Smallish Beans and attacks Big B. Big B was maced by Smallish Beans. Smallish Beans has been cured. Impulse, Etho, and Mumbo were overwhelmed by mobs at night. Does that mean they all died? Every single one of them died? Already? What? Grian shares some iron with Rendog, Gem, and Pearl. B-Dubs finds some diamonds. Solidarity makes a spyglass. Of course he does! Aha! Smager creates a base. LD Shadow Lady jump scares B-Dubs and Good Times with Scar. Smallish Bean scares in Littlewood by luring a creeper to them. They did die! Oh my gosh, they're in yellow names. Zombie Cleo and Etho share some food with Grian. Smager falls into a ravine, but manages to survive. Skizzleman and Pearl promise to come to Impulse and Gem's aid if they're in trouble. Alright, so they've got a little alliance maybe going. Mumbo and Rendog propose a truce with Bigby and Tango. Skizzleman's nether raid went horribly wrong. Skizzleman was slain by a zombified piglin. Oh. Impulse in the Littlewood and Solidarity explore the map as a group. Lizzie and Etho promise to come to Smage's aid if they're in trouble. Zombie Cleo offers Grian, Bigby, and Good Time Scar a large amount of resources. Tango proposes a truce with Ren and Pearl. Joel steals valuables from Mumbo Jumbo. It's quite simple, really. Bigby steals from Joel and Mumbo. Holy moly, you just did the reverse. Did you basically do one of your Hunger Game videos? What do you mean? Huh? Oh, guys, I haven't done a Hunger Games video, actually, for this series. Should I do one or not? I can't remember how the last one did and if people are getting bored by them. I can't remember. Grian's nether raid went horribly wrong. Grian was fireballed by the blaze. B-Dubs and Tango promise to come to Solidarity and Impulse's aid if they're in trouble. Skizzleman collects some dripstone. Pearl shares some iron with Rendog. Scar offers Zombie Cleo and Martin a good trade, which they accept. Season 1 standings. Next session. I can't see anything. Ooh, it might be broke there. It might be broke there. Session 2. B-Dubs is chosen as the boogeyman. Oh, so they're doing it in, like, sessions. That's very cool. Joel and Scott offer Lizzie and Martin a good trade, which they accept. A fight breaks out as B-Dubs attacks Cleo and Grian. Cleo was slain by B-Dubs. B-Dubs was cured. Grian loses their assailant through the woods. Tango and Jim play a fun British game. No one dies, thankfully. What does that even mean? What, huh? What does that even mean? What does that mean? Tango and Jim play a fun British game. I wonder what the fun British game was, huh? I wonder what it was. Good Time Scar tames some wolves. Gem crafts a bow. Pearl accidentally broke the boat. Pearl was slain by an Enderman. Cleo smelt some iron. Bulldogs. British Bulldog, you know it. Cleo smelt some iron. Skiz comes to Gemini Tay, Scott, and Mumbo Jumbo's aid when they were attacked by mobs. Bigby finds sugarcane. Impulse, Scar, and Etho consider being in an alliance together, but decide against it. Lizzie, Ren, share some arrows with Solidarity and B-Dubs. Jimmy and Skiz make some light-hearted banter with Lizzie and Etho. Ha ha ha. Light-hearted British banter, they would say, huh? Some light-hearted British banter. Bigby, Scar, and Martin shouldn't have dug straight down. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-O. Oh my gosh. Bigby is now red. We have our first red name, ladies and gentlemen. First red name. There it is. It's here. Scott splits the loot from their caving expedition with Pearl. Jem and Mumbo play a fun British game. No one dies, thankfully. Wait, what was the fun British game? Someone said a bucket of lava. Why is that a fun British game? What do you mean? What does that mean? I'm going to hate myself in the morning. I have my first job interview, and I'm so scared. You are going to be fan-dabby-dozy. Don't you worry. The lava bucket joke from Last Life. Ah, right. Okay. B-dubs scares Smallish Beans. Cleo and Tango unsuccessfully make a sales pitch to Grian. Bigby makes a basic storage system. Impulse and B-dubs steal Good Time Scar's banner. Lizzie and Jem propose a truce with Jim and Skizzleman. Tango finds diamonds. Scott, Zombie Cleo, and Scott, Zombie Cleo, and Joel start a bit. What? They start a bit. They start a funny bit. You know, like calling Joel old. They call it, it's just a funny bit. You know. Mumbo Jumbo, Pearl, run into Etho and Rendog whilst underground. After some light chatter, they part ways. View standings. This bit, I'm guessing, is broke, by the way. I'm guessing this is broke. By the way, what I will say while playing this game, I actually can't remember the person who made this game. I will say it right at the end. But what I will say is I hope that person has got permission from Everin to use this as a background. But if they haven't, I'm saying right now, big shout out to Everin. Because this might probably be a Solidarity Shorty, I think. Big shout out to Everin. I'm pretty sure I met Everin. I might be butchering your name, by the way. Pretty sure I met you at TwitchCon. And you were fan-dabby-dozy. And you made me sign some posters. And they were fantastic. Pretty sure. I don't know. I can't remember. But you're great. You're great at drawing. It's amazing. Fantastic. How long would the Mafia Boys Laugh in a Life series? If anyone here old enough to remember them. I'm talking to chat now because Jimmy never sees my comments. I do see your comments, bro! I see them! I see them, dude! And they wouldn't last. They wouldn't last. They wouldn't do it. Session 3. Impulse is chosen as the boogeyman. Tango's chosen as the boogeyman. Cleo's chosen as the boogeyman. Lizzie's chosen as the boogeyman. We got 4. 4 boogeymen. 4 boogeymen. Oh my, this is about to go really pear-shaped right this second. It's about to go down. Pearl shares some sugarcane with Scott, Mumbo, and Skiz. Etho steals Bigby's trivia bot? This is Third Life. How's Trivia Bot in here? What do you mean? I think things have gone a bit wonky. This is supposed to be Third Life with Boogeyman. A fight breaks out between Lizzie and Smallish Beans and Grian. Lizzie was maced by Grian. A fight breaks out between Bigby and Tango. Tango was slain by Bigby. A fight breaks out between Cleo and Jem. Jem was blown up by Cleo. Cleo's been cured. Holy moly. Martin shares some food with Jim, Scar, and Ren. Pearl spends far too long trying to get goat horns. Joel and Mumbo talk about other players. Ren, Jem, Martin, and Bigby start making bread puns. That's good. I like it. A fight breaks out between Tango and B-dubs. B-dubs was wind charged off by Tango. Tango's been cured. Jim, Scott, and Good Times with Scar promise to come to Etho's aid if they're in trouble. Impulse organizes their chests. Jem organizes their chests. A fight breaks out between Bigby and Skiz. Skiz loses their assailant through the woods. Mumbo and B-dubs explore the map as a group. Jim and Etho share some iron with Joel. Tango drops dripstone on Pearl as a prank. But I don't think Pearl died there, by the way. I don't know. A fight breaks out between Impulse and Lizzie attack Rendog. Ren sneaks away. A fight breaks out between Impulse and Grian. Grian was doomed to fall by Impulse. Impulse has been cured. Grian is now red. Pearl shares some gear with Smallish Beans. Ren and Tango raid a village. A fight breaks out between Big B and me. Jim drowned. I'm always drowning. I'm always drowning, bro. Genuinely. I literally looked over the chat and someone said, how's Jim still green? The timing, eh? The timing. How's that even happened? You literally spoke it. You spoke death there. Crazy. A fight breaks out between Lizzie and Scar. Scar was burnt to a crisp while fighting Lizzie. Lizzie's been cured. Scar is now red. Etho and Smager raid the deep dark. I wish this worked. This bit here. Session 4. Scott is chosen as the boogeyman, and I'm chosen as the boogeyman. Jem offers Impulse and Pearl a good trade, which they accept. A fight breaks out with Pearl, and Scott attacks Smallish Beans. Smallish Beans went off with a bang by a fireworks shot by Scott. Scott's been cured. Scar organizes their chests. Mumbo collects some skulk sensors. Skiz steals valuables from Etho, Martin, and Ren. A fight breaks out between me and Tango. Tango was killed by me. Tango's now red. Etho and Big B unsuccessfully make a sales pitch to myself and B-Dubs. Pearl makes a basic storage system. A fight breaks out between Tango and Scott. Scott tried to swim in lava to escape Tango. There it is. There it is. Cleo, Lizzie, Joel, and Jem offer a good trade, which they accept. A fight breaks out between Scar and Impulse. Impulse hides in a hole while danger passes. Ren notes down their most dangerous opponents. Scott and Pearl share some food with Jim and Impulse. A fight breaks out between Big B and Etho. Etho is wind charged off by Big B. Etho is red. We have a lot of reds now, by the way. A lot of reds. A fight breaks out between Tango and Lizzie. Lizzie is burnt to a crisp. Lizzie is now red too. Joel comes to Scar, Grian, and Jem's aid while they were attacked by mobs. Martin burns down Ren and Skiz's base. A fight breaks out between Big B and Skiz. Skiz hits the ground too hard. Skiz is now red too. There is so many reds. So many. Scar tends to their farm. A fight breaks out between Grian and Impulse. Impulse is shot by Grian. Impulse is red too! There's so many reds! It's insane! Scott promises to come to Lizzie and Jem's aid if they're in trouble. A fight breaks out as Etho attacks Mumbo Jumbo. Mumbo Jumbo drowned whilst trying to escape Etho. Mumbo Jumbo's red. There's so many reds. Who isn't red? Joel Pearl shares some sugarcane with Ren. What in the world? Session 5. Zombie Cleo is a boogeyman. Martin is a boogeyman. A fight breaks out between Mumbo and Ren. Mumbo Jumbo is slain by Ren. Mumbo is out first. Holy smokes, dude. Jeez. There it is. First out. It's not me. Hallelujah. Praise be. A fight breaks out between Martin and Scott. Scott hits the ground too hard. Scott is now a red. Jim, who do you think will win past life? Let me pretend I'm flicking my long hair. That means me, by the way. Scar puts down a few buckets of lava. Grian and Joel sing The House of the Rising Sun together. A fight breaks out between Tango and Impulse. They attack Jem and Zombie Cleo. Jem was finished off by a mob whilst escaping Impulse. Jem is now red. Zombie Cleo was finished off by a mob while escaping Impulse. Zombie Cleo is now red. Zombie Cleo's failed to cure themselves. A fight breaks out between Skiz and Jem. Jem was shot by Skizzleman. Jem is out. Is that realistic? Is that realistic? I'm not sure. A fight breaks out between Ether and Scott, and they attack Rendog. Rendog tried to escape by swimming in lava. Red is now yellow. Cleo, Pearl, Jim, and B-Dub start making bread puns. A fight breaks out between Big B and Tango. Tango tries to escape from Big B. He can't. He's out. A fight breaks out between Scar and Smallish Beans. Scar was slain by Joel. Scar is out. Skiz tried to swim in Good Time Scar's lava trap. Skiz out. A fight breaks out between Lizzie and Joel. Joel manages to end Pearl away. Jim crafts some backup gear, bro. A fight breaks out as Etho attacks B-Dubs. B-Dubs went off with a bang by a firework shot by Etho. B-Dubs is now red. Rendog was unlucky when caving. He was blown up by a creeper. He is now red. A fight breaks out between Impulse and Scott. Scott was doomed to fall. Scott is out. A fight breaks out between B-Dubs and myself. B-Dubs was slain by me. B-Dubs is out. Etho, Martin, and Joel raid to the farm. Oh my gosh. Chat, the internet should be fine now. Genuinely, when I got to the end of this, I was about to say, we did a whole stream with no lag! And we were going to celebrate and everything. And then, yeah, that's happened. Fantastic. Great. All right. Session 6, everybody. Session 6. If you need, if my voice is lagging or whatever, please just hit the refresh button. Do it. Wait, yeah, just hit the refresh button if the audio is a bit funky, alright? Hit the little refresh button. Session 6. Joel is the boogeyman. Jim stashes supplies in a secret chest. A fight breaks out as Ren and Impulse attack Etho. Etho takes refuge in a nearby base. A fight breaks out as Joel attacks Martin. Martin hides in a hole until the danger passes. Bigby decorates their base. Giant cookie! Anyway, a fight breaks out as Joel attacks Martin. Martin attacker gives up chase. A fight breaks out between Impulse and Bigby. Bigby was slain! He's out. Bigby killed a lot of people, by the way, in this one. A fight breaks out as Etho attacks Rendog. Rendog was doomed to fall by Etho. Rendog out. Jim offers Pearl a good trade, which they accept. Lizzie, Etho, and Smallish Beans break Rendog's dripstone. They weren't falling for that, were they? Pearl proposes a truce with Solidarity and Martin. Like that. A fight breaks out between Grian and Impulse. Impulse went off with a bang. Impulse out! Solidarity loots Smage's base for leftover resources. Pearl helps Lizzie set up a farm. Etho fires arrows in Smallish Beans' path. Martin steals from Grian. Martin forgot to eat. He hit the ground too hard, he's out. Right. Smallish Beans' mansion raid went horribly wrong. Smallish Beans was killed by an evoker using magic. He is now red. Smallish Beans failed to cure themselves. Jimmy tames some wolves. A fight breaks out between Grian and attacks Lizzie. Lizzie takes refuge in a nearby base. Pearl sneaks through the deep dark. A fight breaks out as Etho attacks Solidarity. Solidarity is wind charged off by Etho. I was getting so excited because I was still yellow and now I'm red. I'm red and there's still people in. I could still win. A fight breaks out between Grian and Lizzie. Lizzie was shot by Grian. Lizzie is out. Because there's no standings, it says there's standings here and I can't see them. I don't actually know who's still in. I'm pretty sure I'm in the top, 8. There's, 6 left. I think there's, 6 of us left, I think. Let's do this. Session 7. A fight breaks out as Grian attacks Pearl. Pearl's burnt to a crisp. Pearl is now red. Martin places down a trapped chest. Pearl thinks about their strategies to win. A fight breaks out as Martin and Grian attack Jimmy and Joel. Jimmy was finished off by a mob while trying to escape Martin. What did it happen to me? I made my mistakes. Oh. Anyway. Smallish Beans was slain by Ethan Littlewood. He's gone as well. Martin's just done a double kill. Fight breaks out between Martin and Grian. Martin was finished off by Grian. There it is. I like that. Jimmy liked that. Pearl places a barrel on top of an observer. Grian and Etho break the TNT linked to Martin's chest. A fight breaks out between Etho and Pearl. Pearl went off with a bang. Pearl's out, everybody. A fight breaks out between Etho and Grian. Grian hides in a hole while the danger passes. Grian sets a TNT minecart on a powered rail. Etho triggers Grian's TNT minecart but survives the explosion. Etho links an observer to a powered rail. Grian was blown up by Pearl's trap barrel. Grian was eliminated. Does that mean... Wait. Etho won! Hey! Etho with the win! Yo! Wow! There it is. That's a nice, wholesome win. Etho in first place with 5 kills, 2 deaths. Grian came second, 6 kills, 3 deaths. Well, I won't say the deaths because that's just, you know, everyone's going to have 3 deaths. Grian got 6 kills. Pearl got 1 kill. Martin got 3 kills. He came 4th. In 5th was Joel with 2 kills. I came 6th with 2 kills. Lizzie came 7th with a kill. Impulse was 8th with 5 kills. Ren was 9th with 1 kill. I knew Bigby had loads of kills. Bigby came 10th with 6 kills. Then we had Cleo, B-Dubs, Scott, Skiz, Scar. Tango had 3 kills, came 16th. Gem was the only person who had 0 kills that whole game, came 17th. Oh, and Mumbo. Mumbo and Gem had no kills. They came 17th and 18th. Wow. Do you know what? I came 6th. That's the best that I've ever done. Right? In anything in life, sadly.